Secrets of the Mesozoic, starring Donald Von Griffin, Kieran Torres, Leslie Danaberger, Lloyd Montgomery, and me, the GM, Brandon Blackmore. Craig Smith may or may not be with us today due to an inconvenient hurricane. Tonight's game brought to you by Southern Comfort 100. Because when you really just want to get liquored up.
Why not?
Why mess with hot measures?
Alrighty. So, there was no last week.
I had a friend of mine who was really into SoCo and ginger ale.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
That was like his drink. And honestly, it's not bad.
I like Southern Comfort.
Ginger ale kind of spices it and brings a little bit of the sweetness out of the SoCo.
Well, I'm drinking it with ginger ale.
Yeah.
Diet ginger ale because Southern Comfort's normally so sweet. Okay, so
that was like his go-to drink. I actually kind of like the stuff.
You guys are a traveling traveling monster hunter TV show for the History Channel or something like that. I don't have a note on what. Oh, Animal Planet. No, it was Animal Planet. You're cryptid hunters who have a show on Animal Planet, which has gone on, I think, do we say 14 seasons? So that's pretty wacky.
I was thinking 10, but okay.
Okay, 10 seasons then.
Usually after 10, everything sucks. And so.
Well, the last season and a half, you've basically been rehashing earlier ideas from in the first few years of the show. So it is kind of getting repetitive.
I've only been in America for 10 years. I'm saying I started on the show the moment I moved to America.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Hey, there's your traveling broadcast unit.
Cool.
In the terminology of the business, it's called an outside broadcast vehicle. And all those little doorways you see on top, antennas and dishes and so forth can pop up from those. And the back half of that is sometimes a meeting room, and sometimes a planning room, and sometimes a very cramped sleeping area. You sleep in motels whenever possible.
Oh, yeah.
But you can sleep in this, and somebody will sleep in the cab, and you can fit. It's just kind of cramped. So, driving along, vroom, 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 through Colorado, let's say. And it's gorgeous country. And who's driving?
I think I actually have driving skills, so I will drive.
Well, that makes sense to me. So, that is Erlang, right?
Yes.
I've got it written down here somewhere.
Ooh, and you're our security guy?
Cameraman is his primary job, but he also does security. Yes.
I was going to say I'd drive, but I'm the star of the show, and they don't let me do that.
Okay.
You can. They don't really care who drives, man. I'm assuming at least 2 or 3 of you will take turns driving.
I figured it'd be a SAG thing.
Okay. Well, then whoever's technically support, I guess, who's let's see. Oh, I think Craig's character would be like the person that Erlang swaps off with driving duties.
Right. He's the roadie.
Yeah, so Erlang and Craig's character take turns driving. I'm saving character sheets people have sent me. Doodly-doo.
Okay, I'm getting ready to send you what I believe is the finished product.
Alrighty. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay.
What you have is the one I already sent you. I'm getting ready to send you the new one now.
Alright, and I had a thing from Lloyd here. Let's see, where's the one Lloyd sent me?
Okay.
Tunnel. Where's the one? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, everything in red for me is the super character.
just swell. And I'm not going to sit and review these right now, but I will later. Sure, anytime now, any day. I'm sure.
And by the way, I took ultra power of my clanks. But
Who, what now?
I took ultra power. Which
So you have like the 5 prerequisite powers and then ultra power?
Yeah, well, I have ultra power, and I've got basically an effect from each of those 5 powers.
Well, let me double check that because I want to make sure that...
And how that works is you get like a limited...
I want to make sure I explain that.
One thing that does 5 little things.
No, that's not at all how that works. Let me see. Powers. Okay. Ultra power requires 5 theme powers, and you've only got 4. So you need 1 more power, and then you can buy ultra power on top of that.
And then, so what does ultra power do for you?
Once you have ultra power, you can do anything, essentially, as long as it doesn't have, as long as you have any prerequisite power, if it has one.
Okay, I misunderstood that backward. Yeah. Okay.
No worries. You've almost got it. Yeah, the powers you can fill in for ultra power are just for your own convenience. You could theoretically do anything that fits with the theme, and you have the prerequisite for. For example, there's mind control, which I think has a prerequisite of mental resistance or something like that. So if you don't have mental resistance outside of the ultra power, you can't put mind control in the ultra power because you don't have the prerequisite for it.
And then ultra power gets however many powers you want in it?
1 at a time, yeah.
Okay.
It's basically an anything power. Because you've already bought 5, so...
Okay, I gotcha. So I need to buy another power.
Well, theoretically, yeah.
And then that would give me ultra power, which would give me the effects I'm looking for.
Pretty much anything, as long as you have the prerequisite for the power in the ultra power, if there is one. Most powers don't have a prerequisite, but some do. So, like big area effect powers typically have a prerequisite that is a non-area effect power, for example.
Yeah, okay.
So, there you go. But no, yeah, that's
Okay.
we'll flow with it for now.
So I figure out where to get the extra point and just pick something.
Sure. Let's see. Let me open up a document and save Lovely's character sheet here.
I can really go OP and get animal control as well as object animation, speak with objects, and control machine. Then everything I can talk to will be my friend.
That's really something.
That would be a little OP though.
Well, I think that's gonna be a given, honestly. Okay. Alright, so I've got Leslie's character.
My first idea was just that he could sail a ship by asking the ship to sail itself. But apparently that's both too simple and too complex to pull off without spending a whole bunch of points on it. And so I made that his whole shtick.
Hey, I just wanted to build a Jedi Knight, and it got rather complex, yes.
Okay, so games. I'm saving your character sheet so I can look it up later.
Okay.
Leslie. Fantasy, parts of Mesozoic. Alright, there we go. Michael McLaughlin. McLaughlin, right? Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright. That's good for now. So, got that. Alright, so you're cruising along, and Erlang's driving, and you guys are in the...
The hyper acuity is not going to work for me because it doesn't fit in with the... Well, it does fit in with the theme of the spark. It doesn't fit in with the theme of him talking to things and making friends with, objects. And that inventing and stuff.
I don't know. It could if the hyperacuity is a thing that you invented. So, you know.
Well, no, it would be part of how he is able to do the clockwork.
No, it's all the same theme. It's a theme. Basically, you have the theme, and if you buy 5 powers in that theme, then you can buy Ultra Power, which basically means you can put anything else in that theme that you want. I thought I explained that. Maybe I didn't. I'll have to go read how I described that again.
Figure out how to figure out what is in the theme.
Well, figuring out what the theme is the most important part.
I'll start.
Where are we at?
A Spark from Girl Genius is the theme.
I never read that. I've heard of it, so I don't actually have any clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
Other than you can talk to machines and they'll do what you want.
Mad Scientist.
Well, see, most of the stuff you've told me so far doesn't sound like a mad scientist to me, but I'm cool with that. You do you.
Mad Inventor.
All right.
I know what you're talking about.
Their automatons can think for themselves.
All right. I'm totally cool with that. So, you're driving through Colorado. Erling's driving the outside broadcast vehicle. You've got to get, in theory, you're supposed to get somewhere by tomorrow at noon to meet with some local person who saw some Bigfoot type monster or something. And this is be like your 5th Bigfoot themed show just since you joined the team, Erling. So it tends to come up from time to time.
Popular.
Yeah. I mean, there are various ones. There's like, a Bigfoot type creature in Louisiana, a Bigfoot type creature in Maryland. I mean, anyway.
Hello.
The Jersey Devil.
My understanding is the Jersey Devil isn't a Bigfoot type creature. It's like more like a demonic looking thing.
Demonic, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Anyway.
It's basically a bird or a devil kind of thing with a large wingspan that if you get out of your car anywhere in its vicinity, it will take you away.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Anyway, people who
it's from the Pine Barrens. I'm from Jersey, so I know the Jersey Devil.
Well, say hi for me next time you see him.
Yeah, well, I know the legend anyway.
So, folks who are not driving can be in the back reading a book, watching TV, playing cards, whatever you want to do.
okay.
I guess you just go with that. All right. Then.
I'm trying to figure out how to theme these things together.
Okay.
Why does it have to be another
big theoretically, you're so overthinking this. But theoretically, Donald, any of those powers that you had written down on a sheet under Ultra Power, throw one of those over into a power you pay for, because they'd only be in the Ultra Power if they're part of the theme.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just pick your theme, pick 5 powers, buy them, and then buy Ultra Power, and you're golden. It starts raining, like all of a sudden. It's like there's like almost no warning. Just one day it's a fairly nice day, a few clouds, and all of a sudden just shadow. It just gets dark and starts pouring down rain. A couple seconds later, it's like somebody flipped a switch. Now you have seen, because you guys have been traveling for various amounts of time throughout large empty sections of the United States, and there are times where you've seen weather change abruptly like this. For example, in tornado areas, sometimes it'll just be bright out, and then all of a sudden it's Anyway, so normally you just keep driving. It's very rarely so bad you need to pull over, and this doesn't look that bad yet. So.
Okay, we'll throw on the lights and the wipers and see if the radio is going to tell me about anything about a weather going on.
Actually, hey, we can make some rolls. Craig says he doesn't think he's going to be making it.
Oh, okay.
Because his phone is going off. So.
I think it went from a watch to a warning, probably.
So, Craig's character had a bad burrito at the truck stop you guys stopped at a few hours ago, and he's been in the bathroom ever since then. So,
Oh, jeez, poor guy.
I'll tell him that later. Meanwhile, you guys are doing what you do. So, let's roll some dice. See.
So what are we rolling the dice for?
You're not.
I'm
Sorry.
not.
Erlang is.
Okay.
So, let me see. Skills. Let's make you have a skill roll. What would it be? Something technical.
I'm immersed in a book.
It would be like a technical thing. Sure. Engineering, right? Yeah, engineering. You got engineering, Lloyd?
I don't think so. Nope, I do not. I have computing, if that's of any use whatsoever.
No, this. Okay. Here's how it works when you don't have the skill.
Okay.
You roll 1d6. And in this case, roll 1d6 and add your reason. And I will roll against you. And this is just a difficulty level 3. If I don't tell you different, it's difficulty level 3, which means I'm rolling 2 dice and adding 3. Okay. And I got a 10. Did you get a 10 or more?
Not on a d6 plus 3. No, I got a 6.
Oh, wow, that's like impossible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, okay then. Yeah, you're just getting weird static and strange sounds and odd beeps and buzzes. There's nothing really coherent coming out of the radio at this point in time.
All right.
At which time, thunder so loud that it physically rocks the, or maybe it's a coincidence and the wind hit it right then, but there's a boom and the whole truck just like wobbles like this.
Well, that's kind of scary.
That is kind of scary.
All right, which one of you pissed off for?
Oh, due to the way this is laid out, you're in the cab up front, and they're in the back, and there's like a little like tablet-sized intercom video thing. You can see in the back, and they can talk to you. And usually it's muted because you got the radio playing or something, but you can communicate with them, but you can't actually get to them without getting out of the cab and going back and opening a door.
Right.
Just so you know. So, anybody panicking yet? No?
I'll tell
you heard Michael's response. Which one of you pissed off Thor?
Batten down the hatches, you say?
Yes. Because it looks like we're running into some bad weather.
Okay,
make
I'm going to go ahead and step up front.
You can't while the truck is in motion.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to get on the intercom and ask him if he wants me to come up and co-drive.
No, I should be okay for the moment. If it gets any worse, I'm just going to pull over. So.
Thinking that pulling over is probably the best bet.
I'll give it to you for free because you have piloting, right?
Actually, no, I don't.
That's the driving. Yeah, that's the driving skill. You don't have that?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I did it one time. I must have bought it off at some point.
All right, no worries. I was going to give it to you for free anyway. So, purple lightning zigzags across the sky, and your headlights are illuminating sheets of rain that are glowing orange and green.
Well, that ain't normal.
That is not normal.
You mean we're finally going to find something on one of these crazy hunts?
You guys don't have windows, so you don't see any of this.
Well, if he's talking on the intercom...
Start slowing down.
All right. Thunder cracks really loud again, and all of a sudden, it feels like you drive over a cliff, and you feel that like vertigo feeling of falling, like the floor has gone out from under you. That feeling.
Okay.
Wait, almost done. To Erlang up front, it looks like all of a sudden the road ended and the truck kept going. And you were slowing down, so you're only going like 15 miles per hour or so at this point, because you were in the middle of slowing down. But you're slowing down, and all of a sudden, still rain and lightning and stuff. Road ends, truck's going, whoosh, and that amount of feedback you feel from the road, you no longer feel it.
Aha.
And everybody in the back, let's see, what would this be? Let's call it brawn, because it's like keeping your guts from coming out your nose. And athletics? Yeah, athletics, that sounds fine. Everybody make a brawn athletics roll. If you don't have athletics, you roll 1d6. If you have athletics, you roll 2d6. If you have expertise in athletics, any 1s or 2s, you re-roll until they are more than 1 or 2.
Okay.
And you add your brawn. Lloyd's character, Erlang, up front, because you have more visual reference for what's going on, you get a bonus die. Whether or not you've got the skill, you get a bonus die. So you get 1 more die.
3 brawn, 9 for me.
I rolled a 12. Or total.
Total?
Yeah.
Yeah, just tell me totals.
Roll dice and add brawn, right?
Yes. If you have expertise and you get a bonus die, the expertise applies to the bonus die as well. So, just so you know. So, we're going to call this a 6. 6 and 6 is 12. So, you got a what?
15.
You win. Leslie, what's your total?
16.
Jesus Christ. Okay, you win.
Oh, gosh, you wins.
I have skill in athletics. Well,
wait, you have what? You have what in athletics?
I have skill in athletics. One of my skills is athletics.
Okay,
so
good.
I get 2 dice.
You get 2 dice,
I roll
correct.
well.
Kieran?
So I'm adding. I rolled 8 on the dice. So remind me again. I'm adding.
Brawn.
Brawn is 2, and I have a 1 in athletics.
You don't have a number in athletics. You either have it or you don't. If you have it, you roll 2d6. If you have expertise in it, you re-roll any 1s or 2s.
Okay, and then just do. All right, so I have a 2 in brawn, and I rolled an 8.
10. And Donald?
I rolled a 6 on 2 dice plus my 3 brawn. It's a total of 9.
Okay. Donald's character, whose name I don't recall off the top of my head.
Captain Harrows.
Harrows, of course. It's why your character sheet says Harrows. I was like, what the hell is Harrows? Why does he say Harrows? I was going to ask you later. But that's his name. Makes sense. It all makes sense now. So, Anna and Captain Harrows both fall out of their chairs and roll around like Captain Kirk on Star Trek. Da 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 da. Erlang up front grips the steering wheel tightly and stays in control and where he is. Plus, he has a seatbelt, so that helps. And Michael in the back grabs like a support bar that's, from time to time they're around. There's like one on the wall next to the bathroom door, that kind of thing. Grabs one of those and grabs a table and stays in place, and like his feet slide a little bit, but he stays in command of his personal space.
Yep.
You can do something. I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm old.
Since those of us in the back can't get up and drive, right now we're leaving it in the hands of our,
At this point, I don't even want to tell them what's happening.
I don't want to know what's
I'm
happening.
going to die in ignorance at this point.
Has Erlang ever done any like mind-altering drugs, like LSD or anything like that?
Yes, well, he was in the police, when he was in the police department, he experimented to see what the effects are. Yeah.
Well, you've heard about LSD flashbacks. Never had one, but maybe that's what this is.
Right. Catch this one.
But the idea of it being a LSD flashback is kind of contradicted by, you glance over at the intercom screen on the dashboard, and you see the people in the back all, so it's not just you. And then the front end of the truck hits water, and like a wave of water comes up over the front of you're not underwater, but when it hits, it makes a big splash, and that splashes up onto and then goes down. However, you're still not on ground. You feel like there's some forward movement.
What the hell? Are we floating?
Sinking is actually what you're doing.
Captain, is there a large body of water around here?
You're daft. It's Colorado. Did you drive into the reservoir?
I can't really say I drove into it. Let's just say instead the truck drove into it.
Are we sinking?
Well, you feel kind of, the people in the back, well, actually, and Erlang too, you feel kind of floaty, like the ground is slightly drifting from one side to the other. If you've been in a boat before, it has a very boat-like feel.
Do we have any kind of flotation devices with this massively techno-oriented vehicle?
Generally speaking, they weren't expecting you to drive into a river, so no.
Do we have a snorkel by any chance in this?
You would. You would have some stuff like that in a locker. It's like under one of the benches. You flip that up.
Well, I'm talking about does the vehicle have a snorkel? AKA, when that hits the water, we're gonna die.
It's not a U-boat, no.
No.
Like those pickup trucks have snorkels.
The air filter, the air filter of a semi-truck is all the way up by the windshields.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
I'm
get.
talking about the engine.
Yeah, you have to
pickup trucks have to have snorkels. Snorkels.
And that for a semi is generally either up by the engine or up by the roof.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the air intake for the engine itself, that is, Erlang can see that from where he's sitting. Yeah. So it's a good 6 feet off the ground at least.
So we do have a snorkel for this vehicle. It won't die. Now, whether or not we drown is another question.
Are we in fact sinking, Brandon? Are we sinking?
You are in fact sinking. You are still moving slightly forward, and there is still pouring rain and lightning in garish secondary colors, and rain in sheets of like neon pink and lime green and lemon yellow and orange.
How long do I figure we have before she goes under?
Well, you don't know how deep it is, so there's under. Well, okay, yeah, that's right, because it doesn't really matter what's underneath you. It matters until it gets to a few minutes max, because the back of this thing is essentially fairly buoyant. The cab is actually what's dragging the rest of it down, which people in the back will now notice that the cab end of the truck is doing this. So
why don't we all take our weight to the opposite end of the back part?
And water is coming in around the bottom edges of the door. There's like 3 doors on one side. There's no door at the back end. It looks like one from the outside, but from the inside, there's like a wall of computer equipment and video equipment there. So it's not like.
It's a wise idea to go to the back if there's no door.
Go back to the. Well, I do have a question.
But on the side, there's doors and water's coming in the bottom.
Question to the game master.
What?
Were we meant to keep this thing, or were we meant to lose it?
I'm open to either one.
Let's try to keep it because we need a head.
With Donald's abilities, whether you keep it or not, it will not be a game-breaking thing. Okay. Because no matter what happens here, Donald is going to make it worse.
Okay. I want to know how hard I'm going to try to save it.
Well, he'll make it better for you. He'll make it worse for me.
If the cab is what's dragging us down, and we're in the trailer, we all go to the opposite end of the trailer, and try to put more weight on the opposite end of the trailer.
I don't think 4 people versus a semi you're gonna win.
Well, it's worth a try.
No.
Is the engine still running, Brandon?
It is at the moment. You rev the engine. When you rev the engine, you see like water spray up around the wheels. So and you can feel a slight forward movement. We're not talking much, like maybe 5 miles per hour, but you can feel yourself kind of drifting forward.
Okay, well, put her in low gear and see if I can keep it going until such time as the engine dies. Or the water is up to here.
Yeah, I start getting some lines together in case we need to lash things.
And tell everybody to prepare to abandon ship.
Yeah. Hopefully we've got an inflatable boat in here somewhere.
And Captain, if you could grab my bailout bag, I would appreciate it.
What are you doing, Kitty? He's going nuts back
Which
here.
kitty? Devil kitty or your girl kitty?
No, the boy. Sebastian, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Meow, meow. He's just going nuts. What do you want?
Yeah, he was across like a flash.
Yeah, he's just bouncing off the wall. Oh, I got a laser thing. Maybe he'll play with that. Is the battery good? Yeah, here you go. Hey, look. Follow the laser pointer. It's right there. See? There. Go chase that. Alright, great. To answer Leslie's question earlier, which I misunderstood, so I'm actually answering a question she didn't actually ask. But I'll tell you. The unit that you're in actually has things like an inflatable boat, snorkeling equipment. It's actually got one set of, no, it could be two, because the cameraman needs one and the person underwater needs one, which is generally heroes. So there's two full snorkel sets in there with like a gas canister on the back and that whole deal. But there's also several snorkels and a inflatable boat and like a little waterproof portable radio. And there's actually a technical short-range broadcast thing that is intended to broadcast directly to the truck. So you get that kind of stuff under one of the benches.
I'm going to start using my skills in survival to gather what we'll need just in case we have to do abandoned ship.
Oh, I'll give you that for you. You don't have to roll. You can get that for free.
Yeah. Because
that's pretty mainstream survival skill use. Yeah. Is take the things that will keep you from dying. There you go. The underwater gear is something you don't use very often, so it is wound up and shrink wrapped and strapped and packed in as tightly as it is humanly possible to pack.
We may need it. So. I mean, we may have to explore places that do have water. We'll keep that. We'll get as much rations as we can into some kind of container. I'll get the radio. I don't know. It's waterproof.
There's the waterproof radio, but you can grab that.
I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get first aid. I'm gonna get waterproof radio. I'm gonna get food and water. I'm gonna get the raft, and I'm gonna get the snorkel.
Actually, the radios you use to talk amongst your crew while you're doing your thing, they're all waterproof. Because you take them out in the woods and it rains, you might fall in a river, whatever. So they're all weatherproof and waterproof.
Getting all the batteries I can dig up.
Rations, not so much. Because it's not really a rations kind of.
In the United States,
yeah.
Well, if we
you do things like have energy bars and granola bars and things that are wrapped in foil.
That's what I'm getting.
Some are wrapped in paper. Those aren't gonna make the trip quite so easily.
We'll put them in some kind. If we have plastic bags, we'll put them in the plastic bags.
You have a big bag of Snickers that are individually wrapped in plastic. Yeah, you can grab those.
Yep. But anything that's wrapped in paper goes into a plastic bag if we have one of those.
Awesome. So Leslie's grabbing munchies and some survival equipment. What's anybody else doing while the truck is sinking?
I'm grabbing his bug out bag, my bug out bag. Probably Craig's character's bug out bag.
Sounds good.
Grabbing my bag, grabbing the raft. And the radio. I'm sure they're right next to each other, or in the same area.
Okay.
Any survival gear we might have left.
So you're digging through stuff like that along with Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So Anna, Dr. Anna.
I'm probably always carrying a pistol, so I'm grabbing that and the ammunition that goes with it.
You have to be careful about that because you're driving through different states that have different rules.
Oh no, I'm registered to use and carry. So
not nationally, you aren't.
Yeah, that's not how America's laws work.
Yeah, true.
Every state has individual gun laws. Now there's a state with a number of states, but it's maybe like 15 out of 50.
And it's not always 1-to-1 either. It's like there are states that recognize Virginia's that Virginia doesn't recognize, for example.
Yeah.
So it's not like a driver's license. It's pretty goofy. So, and I used to care deeply about that, but life has shown me there's more important things. So, get you've got one. You can strap it on. Not a problem. I'm just saying that normally in your day-to-day life, you have to be a little bit more circumspect and keep track of what state you're in.
It's with me, but I don't always use it, so it's probably in the van at all times, whether I'm carrying it or not.
I'll just let that go.
Yeah.
Mine's in my bailout bag.
Yeah.
From time to time, probably once a year, the show makes you sign a whole bunch of forms, like liability forms and consent forms, and if I'm eaten by Bigfoot, it's not the show's responsibility forms, things like that. In and amongst that is if you carry dangerous items or weapons or items which may be prohibited, and it gives a long list, which includes things like prescription drugs and knives and fireworks. I mean, it's a long list. They say it is, and if you get in trouble for it, it is not the show's responsibility, it's on you.
Problem.
Fruit, pressurized gas.
They waive all responsibility about what you do. So.
Oh, no. The gas is my cousins in Ireland that like to join the IRA every once in a while. That's why I left.
You're all technically contractors, employment-wise. So, whatever you do, we can tell you, but really, it's on you. You have decision-making ability. So, as the truck continues to sink, let's see. What do I have? A reason perception roll. Lloyd?
Reason perception.
Yes.
Is perception a skill?
Perception is a skill.
And
it's currently inconsistent in the way the rules are written, but I'm kind of slowly making it consistent. How I'll describe a skill roll is the attribute and then the skill you're rolling. Because you will always get the attribute, and the skill, whether you have it or not, depends on whether you roll 1 die or 2. And if you've got expertise, it depends on whether you roll 2 dice and re-roll the 1s and 2s.
Okay, I rolled a 10 total.
10 total. Oh, I gotta roll against you. I'm running my mouth.
Oh, and if this vehicle's got bright, like arc light style bright lights, throw all of those on.
Oh, it totally does, because you drive through the middle of freaking nowhere. Yeah. So, even more so than a normal truck. So, you've got like massive 400-watt Krieg light bars. You could actually film a show. Yeah, like 400,000 candle power light bars pointing like in various directions off the cab. Yeah, they won't really run for long unless the engine's running, because it'll kill the battery, because they are just ginormous. But you got a 10 total. I got a 10 total, which means you win. Yay! You flip on, flip all the lights, and for the most part, it illuminates lots and lots of rain, which is hard to see through. But through the rain, you see not more than 50 feet away ground coming up out of the water that you're sinking in.
Go for it!
If I can, head for it, yeah.
Head for it. Awesome. We're going to say heading for it.
Ultra power is more game breaking the way it's written than the way I thought it was.
I have no doubt. I completely believe you. I do have a little written section that warns the GM, keep an eye on this because it's potentially game breaking.
Yeah.
But we're just going to flow with it. What's worse going to happen? So, and you don't have to take ultra power. If you can't think of like a ton more powers to buy after the ones you've already picked out, there's really no point.
I've got it. No, the problem is I was trying to make rules to an effect. I was trying to make the rules match the effect.
Lloyd.
I understood how it works, but I think I got a handle on it now.
Cool beans. Lloyd's going to make a piloting roll, an agility piloting roll. And you don't have piloting, you say, so it's just going to be 1 dice plus your agility. And you're rolling, and you're going to roll against me. If you match what I roll, you'll get a certain way toward the shore. And if you roll higher than that, for every 3 over, you get even closer. And I rolled terribly, so what do you got?
8.
Oh! You didn't roll extreme successes, but you did beat my roll. So you get about halfway to the shore, and you feel the front end of the truck hit something. Like there's an audible crunch sound, and you can feel that you hit something, and as the wheels are spinning because you're actually trucks. It's the wheels behind you that actually spin, isn't it?
Yeah.
The ones in front just steer. All right. Well, I described that wrong earlier, but still lots of splashing.
Well, at some point, the ass end of the cab will sink anyway, so the wheels should bite eventually. The engine's still running.
The engine's still running. You sink. There is water. Like this is the window. Can you see this? This window. Like this is the window of the cab. All right. The water is like 6-8 inches above the bottom of the window next to you.
Okay.
So,
in which case, we are long past the point where I would have bailed out. But
are we?
Stick with it.
Well, the heat of the moment, man. You hit it, and then you look around, and
I may get out of this.
Okay, so in the heat of the moment, the water actually got higher than you intended it to get.
Right.
The truck has stopped. There is something under the water in the way of the truck. It is still running, but there is water flowing into the cab, and eventually it's going to be up to your chest. So,
okay.
Anyway, everybody in the back feels you didn't really have the same sensation of moving forward like Erlang did because you don't have the visual references for it. But 1 minute you feel kind of floaty, and the next minute there's a like this, and now you feel more sinky. And
no question, he can't get past whatever he hit.
You wouldn't know.
You've run aground.
You've run aground.
All right, guys, I've hit something underwater. She's not going any further forward, but I don't think she's going any further down either.
Well, then try and back her out.
Some part of me thinks that's a horrible idea, but I really can't articulate how things could get much worse, so...
You put it in reverse and try going backward?
Well, has the cab settled? Or the trailer settled?
We'll say yes. At this time, the back of the cab portion has settled on the ground, so you're actually looking slightly uphill from where you're sitting.
Then yeah, I'll cut the wheels and see if I can maneuver.
Make that driving roll, the piloting roll. This would be a little bit harder.
8 again.
I'm still rolling. Hang on. You do not make it. You turn the wheels and you put it in reverse, and you just feel it hitting more things.
Yeah, we may have to abandon ship.
All right.
Add it through.
Yeah, at this point she's stuck fast. I'm not going any further. How close to land am I?
25 feet or so?
We're about 25 feet offshore. Looks like the water is about, maybe 8 feet deep?
Do you see any trees?
Back where they are, at least. Where you are, maybe not quite that.
All right. I don't see much of anything except land, so I'm gonna have to bail out of here anyway because I'm about to get water up to my chest. So I'm gonna strike for land and see what I can find. Is there a roof hatch on this thing, like a sunroof?
Let me take a look at the picture. I don't know.
No, well, you just rolled in on the window a little bit and flipped it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the picture of the thing. Hang on.
It's not getting any deeper, so as long as you don't roll the window down below the water line, you ought to be. Oh, actually, yeah. Look,
there does appear to be a hatch in the roof, Lloyd.
I'll take the hatch in the roof then.
Okay. It is still pouring down rain. Let me roll some dice here to see how badly pouring down it is. Good. Actually, do competing rolls. Let's see. Balancing on a slippery roof, I call that agility. So make an agility athletics roll versus me. And this is pretty ferocious, so I'm going to say the difficulty is 6. Because that's pretty difficult.
Okay. I rolled a 12.
I'm waiting for my roll. I rolled a 12 also, which means I get a total of 18. So
Ouch.
you get up there, and the rain is pouring down, and you just had the thing waxed, and you're like, whoa, 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 splash into the water.
I was doing that. I was going to do that anyway.
Well, there you go. I helped you out.
Probably looked a little better if I did it under my own power, but oh well. Yeah, swim to shore.
Okay. Using to Meanwhile, people in the back, what you doing?
Let's see if we can get our raft and everything out.
Yeah, I'm getting the raft out, getting some line together.
I'm hauling the rest of the supplies.
Yeah, first aid equipment, some food.
Yep. Power bars, whatever.
Yeah.
Water. Do we have water?
I'm sure you got bottles of water.
There's racks of bottled water in here, yeah.
Yeah, but we probably also got plenty of water coming down.
Yeah, but it's green
Yeah, that does kind of become
and
concerning.
orange. Magenta.
I'm sure there's like bottled water because
I'm
Yeah.
sure there is. I'm sure there is. Oh,
I
here we
assume
go.
that there's like an RV set up in the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
So like beds and a sink and one of the standard showers, a chemical toilet and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's like a cardboard tray of bottles of water. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Because the water you use in the truck itself, you don't want to drink that. That's mainly for like showers and washing your hands and stuff. You don't really supposed to drink that. So I did not find that's not what I'm looking for. Where's my thing? That's not my thing.
Anyway, I'll swim to shore.
There we go.
You know,
Awesome.
we're probably going to end up having to pay for this.
Okay, so people in the back, you got your bottles of water. I mentioned that the roof of this thing has like tons of hatches, and mainly they're for antennas and dishes and things to go up. But you can climb out of it. There are places up there where you could like mount a camera on top of it, and there's like ladders you can climb up and stand on the top and aim the camera. So there's access to the top if you want to get out that way, rather than through the doors, which are, as we speak, water's still gushing in, and you're probably all standing in, depending on how close you are to the cab, anywhere from 3 to 8 inches of water at this point.
Yeah, I probably should have crawled through that hatch down into the cab back when we first started floating. But okay, yeah.
Well, it's not the sort of thing you normally.
We're bailing.
It's not your go-to thing. That's not a normal thing to do. But
Bailing out.
Yeah.
Bailing out, awesome. Open the hatch and.
I knew that the guy in the driver's seat wasn't.
Somebody better grab our sick friend in the back too.
Yeah, somebody grabs Craig and drags him along. He's buckling his pants as he goes. You hand him a bag of scuba equipment or something, and he's carrying it while you're dragging him along. And you climb out. Outside, it is pouring. It is the hardest rain you've ever seen. At least as hard as the hardest rain you've ever seen. And there are literally glowing sheets of rain that go by you in vibrant color that are glowing, and lightning arcs across the sky and hits the water anywhere from a half mile to 20 miles away. It's hard to tell. That is like bright orange. It's like these are not natural colors.
Huh. Reminds me of the time off the north shore of Greenland when we were hunting the Arctic kraken.
Okay, everybody make a reason perception roll to see if you see Erlang.
No, I don't. I'd rather quote another show right now. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
A 6 total. I'm not much of a perceptive guy.
What? You say something?
My total's 8 with no perception.
8 plus 3, so for reason.
You're lucky you can see each other.
Yeah.
But that end of the truck is where the cab is, and if you're headed toward land, that's the direction you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the raft inflated and our sick friend into it.
Okay,
I can swim if it comes to worse and pilot the raft.
Okay, everybody make agility athletics to see whether or not you fall into the water instead of getting in the raft.
Hey, snake eye.
Well, I rolled crap, so you need a 9. Anybody?
I rolled an 11. I rolled an 11.
You get the raft out. You jump in it. You help Craig into it. Anybody else roll under 9?
I just go ahead and swim it at this point.
Ploosh!
7 total. 7 total.
Anna and Harrow, don't even try. They just jump into the water and then climb into the raft. You start paddling for shore.
Yeah.
Erling gets about halfway to shore, so you're about 12 feet away from shore. And then something attempts to grab you. So it's rolling to hit you. It is rolling its close combat. It's a brawn close combat skill. So it's going to roll 2 dice and add its brawn, and it's going to try to grab you. It rolled well. That'd be a 13. So something under the water attempts to grab you. You need to make a brawn close combat roll to not be grabbed.
Okay. As far as close combat is concerned, I've got Pro from Dover too, so I don't know what that adds to.
That's only for non-combat stuff. That doesn't help in combat.
Oh, okay. Then I rolled a 13.
Which means you roll better than I did. Let me grappling. I gotta double check my grappling rolls. Just make sure it's just. You're the defender, so you can use either agility or brawn, whichever's greater for that roll, because you're defending against a grappling. They're the same.
Yep.
Okay. If it had succeeded, you would be restrained, which is not helpless, but it's restrained. However, it did not succeed. You kick away, and kind of underneath the lightning flashes over you, and what you see under the water looks a lot like this. Except each one of those arms is about 9 feet long.
Oh my.
I think we finally found our cryptids.
So
Cool.
I could not think of a worse possible time to encounter that thing. And I don't even have my camera with me, so we're not even going to get any good footage of it.
It's not super active. It's not flailing around and doing the Godzilla thing. It's just underwater. But those fronds on each of its arms, those are.
Wire.
What?
I kicked the tripwire.
Yeah, it is moving toward you. It's trying to get toward you, and the long cilia on the arms are what try to wrap around you. It's not super active, but it is coming toward you, and it is much bigger than you are.
I think I will avoid it at all possible costs.
Well, it tried to attack you, and it failed. That's its go. You go. What are you gonna do?
Swim the hell away while making screaming noises like a little girl. I wouldn't normally do that. I'm literally just thinking that I want to make as much noise as possible so that everybody else will look over in this direction and see the bloody thing.
You guys all hear Erlang yelling bloody murder, and once you hear him and you kind of know where to look at, you there's a flash and you see him over there. If you'd like, you may make reason perception rolls to see if you see what he's looking at, because it's under the water.
I
Need
don't
an
think
8.
so.
Need an 8 or more.
So.
No? Well, anyway, he went that way.
Proven to not believe in the bloody thing.
That time.
Oh, and then at some point I will scream, "Captain, I found the Kraken!" I've been waiting like 14 years to tell him that.
Okay.
I'll be right over.
No, you do not want to be right over. It's angry, I tell you.
Probably more like hungry. We'll meet you on the shore. We're gonna row like hell.
Okay.
Don't roll like go through that spot.
No, of course not.
So swimming.
Angry giant sea anemone.
What's your at this point? You're about. Actually, you're fairly close to the shore at this point. So you swim like hell as fast as you possibly can. You get to. It doesn't feel like a beach. It feels like rocks. But you get to rocks and you start climbing over the rocks.
I would assume that the shore probably slopes up pretty steeply just because it is rock. Yeah.
That's probably what the RV hit.
Steep is relative, but you get to the shore. You're climbing up rocks, and if you've ever been on a beach in Hawaii, like the kind that don't have sand, that have rocks and maybe some black sand, which is basically just crunched up lava. It's not really sand. It's like that. And you get to shore, and you're wet. And you see them in the boat coming toward you.
Okay. I'll pull out a pocket flashlight and just turn it on so that they can see it.
All right. You guys see the flashlight? Head for the flashlight?
Yep.
Yeah, as long as we're not going over to where the Kraken was.
Oh, you totally are. Everybody roll. Okay, I roll a 7, my 11. Okay. The thing that I showed Lloyd, I can show you again if you like. Do you want me to show you again?
It's rather cool looking.
I'll show you again. Hang on. Okay, as you get toward Lloyd, you're about halfway to the shore, and this rises up out of the water, literally right in front of you.
Oh, bloody hell.
And from top to bottom of this is probably 1.5 times as big as the length of the raft you're in. So it's a sizable thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of like rises up and doesn't really attack you so much as fall toward you.
We haven't.
It's not really built for, swatting airplanes out of the air. But it's big and it will eat you. So it's going to roll to hit, and you guys, to avoid being hit, roll brawn close combat.
Which I do have. Good.
So we don't have close combat. We just get 1 die.
If you don't have close combat, you get 1 die.
All right.
Plus brawn.
Plus your brawn.
A 9.
I'm like 11 again.
A 6.
You needed a 10.
I rolled as high as I possibly could.
You're just not a close combat guy.
I'm not.
So,
I don't have the skill.
When the Tyrannosaurus comes to eat people are going to try to outrun you. So
I am a ranged combat kind
So who dodged aside? Was it Michael?
I'm going for something that's got fire or my firearm.
I know one of you rolled higher than 10 or 10 or higher. Who was it? One more time.
I rolled
Can you
11.
guys? Oh, there you go. You dodge aside as one of the things flop on next to you, and you kick it aside or get the whatever you happen to be carrying, just knock it aside. However, unfortunately, Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna, they both get solidly hit, and the cilia on the thing, which are like 2 feet long, like wrap around an arm and wrap around a leg, and the whole thing starts drawing back into the water, dragging them with it.
Is there anything on this in our survival kit that has a machete or something that?
Oh, I'm sure you got a machete. Sure.
Yeah, we'll start whacking prawns.
Okay, and you're literally only about 3 meters from shore at this point. So it's like you can see you can he's standing right there. You're almost there.
I'll start whacking prawns off.
Although Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna are being dragged away from the shore and not into the water yet, but that's the general area.
I'm hacking what's got them grabbed.
Which one?
Right now, I think it'll be.
Who are you going to rescue?
I know that Captain Harrows is stronger than Dr. Anna, right?
Most likely.
Most likely, I'll hack on Dr. Hannah first. If there's a second machete, I'll hand it to the captain.
We're going to say it's just 1 machete for now.
Okay, well, we'll hack with the ones with Hannah.
You hack away. You roll. Oh my God! All right, you roll your die. Your close. Your brawn close combat, and a machete. Let me double check what a machete gives you.
I get agility for attacking.
Not for close combat. It's oh wait, unless you got the gift that gives you that. Do you have that?
I don't.
Lightning strike.
I don't have lightning strike now.
No, then it's brawn close combat.
Total will be 11 again.
And you get a bonus for the machete. Let me look it up. Machete. Add 1, so it's total of 12. And which is so close to what you needed. You are hacking, and it's kind of like making cuts in it, but it's kind of like chopping through a tree. You hack a couple times, but you're not really making much progress. So that's you. I'll just go left to right. Captain Harrows, you can roll to try to get away, and I suggest that you try to get away.
Is this a brawn athletics?
This is grappling. So let's see. You must use either agility or brawn, whichever's better for you, plus close combat against the brawn close combat of this thing. So and this is both you guys. You can pick either agility or brawn.
So I can't use agility to swim and kick away.
Well, that is what you would be doing. You'd roll your agility, close combat versus this thing's
I'm saying I
brawn.
can't use athletics to swim and kick.
Well, at this point you're fighting, not swimming. So
Okay.
I got a 9.
I have to change my number of dice.
And you roll.
6.
You roll to Karen. I'll roll for you.
A 9 would have been my maximum if I had accomplished it.
But you didn't? Okay.
I did not even close.
I rolled better. I rolled 11 for Karen. What you got?
That's impossible for me. So I only
All
rolled
right.
a 5 anyway. Even if I rolled a 6, I'd still.
It is big and it is strong. I really hope I don't kill you both in the first game. That would suck. You are supposed to get away.
Don't worry, Brandon. I have a plan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is Captain Harrows. That is Dr. Anna. Michael did his thing. He was trying to. He's hacking, not making a lot of progress because the thing is tough. And Erling, you go. And then
Okay.
and then I've got something that'll happen, but we'll see what Erling does. Hopefully you can save the day.
Pull out my multi-tool, which is on my belt, dive back in, and head for the trunk of the thing. Swim to it.
You can totally do that because it's not that far away.
Right.
Your agility is what?
My agility is 3.
Okay. Double check. So your normal swim is 3 meters. Oh, which will get you there. So yeah, you plow it, swim, and start hacking away at the trunk of the thing.
Basically, I'm just going to start cutting through it. I'm underwater, so there's no sense in hacking. I'm just going to get the knife up against it and start dragging it across the trunk of the thing.
All right, this is brawn close combat.
Uh, 10.
And again, if you've got expertise, you re-roll the 1s and 2s until they are no longer 1s and 2s.
Oh, that's right. No, it is. It's just 2 dice, right?
It's 2 dice, yes.
Okay, then yeah, 10.
10. Well, I got a 9. So yeah, you start cutting away at it. You cut a good chunk through it too.
Okay.
Does it notice? It's kind of stupid. So we'll see if it notices. It's not a genius, so it may not notice at first.
Plant.
Well, technically it's an animal, but yeah, it's really low on the. Okay. Unfortunately for you, it rolled really, really low, so it hasn't realized that you're cutting it off yet, which means it doesn't let them go yet.
Okay.
At that point, let's see. How am I going to do this?
We all died.
Well, no, not yet. I got to roll a hit for somebody. Meeny, meeny, miny. I can't tell you apart, so I'll roll this twice, and then 7 or less is Captain Harrows, and 8 or more is Dr. Anna. And Captain Harrows. Okay, somebody shoots at the frond that is, at this moment, pulling Captain Harrows into the water, like you're knee-deep into the water at this moment, and by the time it's your turn again, you will be underwater. Blam! I rolled fucking awesome. What a 5 and a 6. Don't have expertise, but just it doesn't matter because they're rolled a 5 and a 6. So, shotgun. Hobo with a shotgun. Where is
My
it?
explosives happy marine is here.
2. I had 2. So, my agility, we're going to call it 2. And shotgun is 2 plus 11 is 15, which is really quite good. That is way better than I was suspecting. And its ranged, the creature's ranged combat ability is terrible because that's not what it does. So I do 1d6 plus its agility. I roll a 2. Wow. It is not very agile, so we'll call that a 2 to 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow. Okay. There's a boom, which anybody familiar with firearms recognizes as a shotgun, and the thick frond that has the cilia that is grabbed in Captain Harrow explodes 6 inches away from your knee. So if they had missed, they'd call you peg leg Captain Harrows, but as it is, the frond is blown apart, and Captain Harrows is free. Yay!
Okay.
The big monster notices that.
I don't see how it couldn't.
No. They can't do much about it yet, but that's what it notices. Okay. Sadly, Dr. Anna is pulled into the water. And under the water. When Lloyd gets back, we'll tell him because he will notice that. Because the whole trunk of the thing that he's cutting into, like, moves away from the raft, which he can kind of see above him when the lightning strikes, and so he'll be like following that as he's cutting through. But he can see Dr. Anna, and we'll let him decide what to do about that when it's his turn. In the meanwhile, Captain Harrows, you're free. Although you've got like frond on you, but it's not really holding on to you. It's just kind of sticky. It doesn't restrict you in any way.
Okay. I am getting up out of the water.
Are we dead yet?
Okay.
It's got Dr. Hannah.
Dr. Anna was pulled into the water above you. You hear distantly thunder, of course, crashing up there. The trunk, I'll back up a little bit. The trunk you're holding on to that you're cutting through, the trunk's like this big around, that you're like cutting into, it like moves through the water and is pulling her under the water. It seems to have let go of Captain Harrows, but the whole thing is like intending to retreat back to 6 feet under the water, 2 meters under the water. So it's not your action yet, but that's what's happening, so you know. So Captain Harrows, what you doing?
Well, I suppose I'm standing up. I'm getting out of, right? Because it was pulling me under.
Well, it was pulling you off the raft and into the water, so you can climb back in the raft. I'll give you that for free.
Okay.
You can't really stand in the raft because it's it doesn't have a solid floor. It's just plastic, rubber sheet. But you can kneel in it certainly.
Okay, I am going to navigate the raft in order to try and keep a pin on where Dr. Anna has gone, because you don't leave me behind like that.
Well, you know exactly where she went under. And it wasn't moving really fast, so she's probably within a foot or two of the side of the raft, on that side of the raft, underwater. Club.
Yeah.
Let me look up the drowning rules.
If you want to, I can stay with the raft if you want to go down there. I'm about as good a swimmer as you all, probably, but one of us has got to watch our sick friend here.
I'm not much of a fighter with these things.
Well, tell you what, you stay with our sick friend, I'll go down with the machete.
Have fun. Okay.
So what are you doing, Dr. Harrows?
I will pilot the raft to be a home base for these people.
And I'm going down after her.
So you and the raft and all the stuff are heading toward the shore, and Erlang's underwater, and Michael's going to dive into the water in just a moment to try and get Dr. Anna. Cool?
Yes.
Is that right? All right, cool. Let's see. Where did I put... here we go. Suffocation. Let's see. Maximum endurance is reduced by 1 per minute until you can breathe freely or your endurance reaches 0. Well, you got a while. You're not gonna drown right away. It's not a movie, for God's sake. All right. So, I'll give you for free because nothing's trying to stop you. It's just raining really hard, and there's probably like 3 inches of water in the raft at this moment. Splash, splash, splash. But you get it to shore, and before a few strokes, you can kind of see rocks under the water, and you just jump out and drag the raft up onto the rocky beach.
Mm-hmm.
Past the rocky beach, you see jungle, like massive, overgrown palm trees, ferns 30 feet high. It is jungle. So, there's that. That's what you do.
In Colorado.
I am no longer taking the blame for sinking the truck.
Apparently. Dr. Anna, you're underwater. You cannot breathe, but you are probably a couple of minutes away from dying. Just letting you know. It's either good or bad, depending on how you look at time. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fight. I don't have much choice.
Okay. Either brawn or agility, whichever's better for you. And then, if you've got athletics, roll 2 dice. I'm sorry, not athletics. Close combat.
Thank goodness.
It's close combat, not athletics.
Oh, I have athletics, but I don't have close combat.
Oh, and 1 dice.
I rolled a 6 plus a 2.
8?
So 8.
Max. That's the max you can roll, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I rolled a 9. This close. You're like struggling, but other fronds are kind of like drifting over and like wrapping around, and you're just getting. It's just really frustrating. In addition to being terrifying because you can't breathe and you're going to drown and you're going to die. So just that's just going on there.
What season's
Michael,
worth of clothing are you wearing at this point?
what?
So I'm just curious what season's clothing she's wearing at this point.
Well, she's not on camera, so she's wearing what she would consider normal clothes.
Oh, okay. Well,
When she's on camera, she's wearing like Lara Croft booty shorts and tiny little short sleeve and other ridiculous things. So, Michael, who's dove into the water, what are you doing? Oh, you can kind of see when the lightning, it's pitch black normally, but there's a lot of lightning, so every few seconds there's a flash, and you can see Erlang has a stalk of the thing in a chokehold, and he's like cutting into it with a knife. So what are you going to do, Michael?
We're going to go for the thing with the bronze, and we're going to try to fight. We're going to try to cut some more. I have blind fighting, which means I don't necessarily need to see that well.
Okay, that is good to know.
Really, so do I. Convenient that we're the two in the water.
So, are you going to try to cut the frond holding Dr. Anna, or are you going to try to cut the trunk where Erlang is also cutting?
I'll let Erling continue cutting. I'm cutting the fronds. Continuing to cut the fronds.
Okay, brawn, athletic. Brawn, close combat.
Not as good as I did last time.
11.
Looks like only 9.
You dive in and you start cutting at it, but it is really fibrous, kind of like celery is like really fibrous. So it's not that it's hard exactly. It's just got these strands running through it like packing tape. They're making it just really hard to cut through.
Finish it off. Let's go.
So unfortunately,
and let him continue cutting. One of the two of us will succeed in what we're doing, one way or another.
Hope so. Okay, now we get to Erlang. Go to it.
Okay.
11 again. That's what I got.
Okay. We've got a better target now, so I'll find the strand that connects to the other ones that's holding her.
Okay.
Rather than the main strand. So I'll swim up to that and attempt to get through it.
Go to it.
12.
Oh, you get, and you like, cut. You cut loose. You'll need one success to cut the an individual frond loose, because they're significantly smaller than the trunk of the thing.
Right.
So, Dr. Anna, the cilia that are grabbing you, relax. I mean, they're still slightly sticky, so it's like stuck to you still, but it's not restraining you in any way. It's just annoying. You guys are literally all underwater. Oh! Actually, no. Captain Harrows isn't. So, a guy next to Captain Harrows says, sorry I can't help you, partner. Can't really shoot things underwater. And he's got his hat down and his collar up, and it's pouring down rain, so you can't really see him, but he appears to be human. So that's something. And it's your turn. What are you doing? Oh, and he's got a shotgun.
I'm answering Craig's email.
Oh, okay. Let me look. I believe all is clear now.
Where does he
Okay,
stand
yeah.
as far as his tornado is going?
Say what?
I'm wondering where he stands as far as his tornado is going.
Oh, he said everything's clear, so
Good.
he can. If he gets to a computer, he can play. All right, I sent in a link. So, as did you.
I already did. I just did that.
All right. So, Captain Harrows, what you doing?
That's what I was doing when you were asking me what I was doing.
What is Captain Harrows doing?
Well, I will get. My job is to take care of the sick fellow. So I will get him up onto land.
Oh, that's right. He's in the. I didn't even bother attacking him. I should have dragged him in the water. That'd been more fun.
So I am dropping him up on the land.
Okay, you drag him out of the raft. You drag the raft up onto the land. Then you drag Craig's character out of the raft, further up into land, and there's really only about 4 meters between edge of water and edge of jungle. Essentially, you got rocks, giant ferns.
Yeah, well,
So-
my plan is to basically dump the big heavy stuff with him, and then I'm gonna go try and save some of the people out in the water.
All right. Well, your action this round, this on this turn of yours, is to drag stuff out of the. Oh, you can just drag the whole raft up there. Just drag the whole raft up. Well, once he's out of it, because he's a large part of the portion of the weight, you drag him up. Craig's character out of the raft up to the edge of the jungle, and then you drag the raft and drag that up to the edge of the jungle, and that's pretty much all you can do this round.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Greg.
Hello, Craig.
All right. We're all alive. It was an F3, maybe an F4, not quite sure. Find out.
Wow.
Yep.
Good heavens.
Went all the way from south of where I live to right around where I work in Kansas City, Kansas. So that was fun.
Wow. Hey, kitty.
Yeah, you can't see him.
Yeah, I can see a tail right there.
Actually, this is a new cat. Actually,
Big fluffy tail.
yeah, he last year I was in Denver for about 6 months, on and off. I was also running part of Denver, and was looking for a cat almost exactly like him. Actually, I saw him at a pet store there in Denver, so I actually stopped him there and brought him back here to Lawrence.
Oh, he's a pretty boy.
Yes.
Right?
Big one.
Sweetheart, too.
And I have it on a 4D of a doctor, and he's majestic. So I can now officially call him Majestic. The vet said, "Oh, he's majestic." I was like, "Yes, he is."
Very fluffy. Oh, my little cat apparently went away to find somebody more fun to play with.
He is a kid among cats.
Yeah, I think we all have cats.
As opposed to Sebastian, who's a street urchin among cats.
Yeah, Vixen's laying over there on the dresser, just content to hang out. All right, bring you up to date. Craig, your character, whose name is what again?
Francisco is his human name. Iskandar is his second persona, a freak name.
All right.
I'll end up being basically calling myself or being called Isco.
Whatever works for you, man. I don't have a character sheet for you. Do you have one?
That was my plan about 2 hours ago. Before all this fun happened.
Well,
no, not quite there. I'm like.
As long as you can pick a number out of the air and roll some dice when I ask you to, I'm cool with it. Just give it your best shot between now and the next game.
6 sides, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So what Lego set do you have?
Again?
What Lego set do you have on the table?
Oh, this one here. That was just one I happened to see. Keychain daily plus the additions.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. That's one I happened to see. I was at Lego store the other day. Actually, when I was out east near you guys. Near-ish you guys. Nearer you guys.
We're sort of,
You were around DC area a week or so ago, weren't you?
And then Philly for the week after that.
Hey, it's at least the right time zone.
Exactly. About 1,000 miles closer. How about that?
If you end up in North Carolina, give us a holler.
Cool, we'll do.
Cool. To bring you up to date, you guys are on the road, you're driving through Colorado, you have a place you're supposed to be by tomorrow around noon to follow up on a Bigfoot sighting. You got a bad burrito at a truck stop about 3 hours ago and have been spending most of the last 2 hours in the bathroom. So,
Who's driving then?
Me.
So Erlang was driving.
Not particularly well, mind you. I drove it for a run.
Normally, it's not that complicated. Follow directions and stay in your lane. It's not that hard. But you're in the bathroom when you feel the entire truck rock back and forth, and you can hear massive lightning, but you're kind of stuck where you are, so you can't really do anything about it. And the truck is like rocking, and then you feel this falling feeling, like if you've had turbulence in a plane, and you feel that thing like the plane drops out from under you, you feel that. And it lasts for a good second and a half, which is a long time to feel that. And then there's and then you feel like a floaty sort of feeling, and there's lots of yelling, and there's people yelling, and there's more people yelling, and at some point water starts coming in underneath the door. At this point, you feel like discretion's a better part of valor. You do what you got to do. You pull up your pants. You're starting to buckle it. Michael, Leslie's character.
Out into the main room.
Yeah, Leslie's character, Michael, whips open the bathroom door, grabs you, and drags you out while you're still buckling your belt, climbing up the ladder out the top of the back portion of the outside broadcast unit, which I will show you. The outside broadcast unit, because why not?
Yeah, I think you put the links on.
So you
take a good look at it. You're never going to see it again.
you might not ever see it again. Okay, so you climb out the top of that. It is pouring rain, and there's lightning, and the truck is at this point in about 8 feet of water. And you don't really know what happened or how you got here. You do know that the lightning and the rain are unusual colors. The lightning is orange and pink and purple, and there's big sheets of rain coming through that is neon blue and pistachio green, and it's all pretty traumatic. Has your character ever done LSD?
That's very possible.
Well, you might be thinking, you've heard of acid flashbacks. You've never really had one. You're wondering this might be one. But no, you hear the other people commenting on these weird garish colors of light and the lightning and all, too. So it's not just you.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's a raft, and then people fall in the water, and then you get into the raft without falling in the water, and then you get part way to the shore, and then a big plant of some kind grabs Captain Harrows and Dr. Anna and starts dragging them into the water, and there's an explosion, and Dr. Harrows is fine. It's a gunshot, actually. But Dr. Anna is dragged in the water, rain is pouring down. You can't see anything. Captain Harrows pedals the raft to the shore, which is all rocky. Your stomach is really, really hurting at this point, and you're not here. So you can't really be very much use, but he drags the raft up. He drags you to the edge of the jungle, then he drags the raft up to the edge of the jungle, and that's where we are. So, do something.
Guys, what happened?
No, that is where you are at this moment. You're at the edge of a jungle. Captain Harrows is just finished pulling the raft up next to you.
Yeah.
When a lightning flashes, you see a guy you don't recognize in a long duster with a big, heavy cowboy hat, and that's really all you. And he's got a shotgun, and that's all you can see him. Out in the water, when the lightning flashes, you can see the truck about 8 meters away, about 25 feet away, and you don't see anyone else. They're all underwater.
Excuse me, mister. What's going on?
You can say something, Captain Harrows.
I look over and see. You must be the one who saved me.
Oh, you're talking to the guy in the cowboy hat.
Yeah. Craig's character calls out,
Hey, fella.
"Hey, fella,
Yeah, hey, fella, what's going on here?
what's going on
Who are
here?"
you?
But I look up to where he's looking and see the cowboy, and go, "Huh? You must be the one who saved me."
Seemed like the thing to do at the time.
Well, appreciate it.
So, do you do anything else, you guys?
My plan is to dump all the stuff out of the raft and take the raft back out to save the people.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you finish doing that, and you start dragging the raft toward the water. Craig's character, whose name I've already forgotten. Enrico? No. Federico.
Francisco.
I'll write that down, because I don't have it in front of me.
Cisco kid.
That's fair enough.
Okay. All right, Cisco. Captain Harrows is dragging the raft back toward the water. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll help him out.
The guy in the cowboy hat shows no indication he's taking a step closer to the water. So, I'm just letting you know.
I don't see the rest of my fellow travelers. I'll go help them.
Yeah, you're not exactly clear what happened to them. You haven't been
They're not here, so
completely cognizant, but you
maybe there's a problem.
seem to remember Dr. Anna going over the side. You and Captain Harrows dragged the raft back to the water. Meanwhile, under the water, Dr. Anna is going to attempt to get free. Oh no, you are free. Yes. So you are free.
We can go for the shore.
What you doing, Dr. Anna?
I'm getting to walk up to the surface because I've been.
Yeah.
The most logical thing to do.
Makes sense. What's your agility?
2.
Okay, you are not a particularly fast swimmer, so you can get up and then get maybe halfway to the shore on your action, and take a deep breath because you've been underwater. So that's important. And then we come to Michael McLaughlin.
Following her up, and I have an agility of 3 plus athletics, so I'll be up in no time.
What is it you want to do, Michael?
Head to the surface and go to shore.
Okay. If all you're interested in doing is getting to shore, you can get to shore and crawl and then slosh and walk out of it.
I'm going to do it behind Anna to keep an eye on her.
Oh, okay, so you're going to follow Anna. Well, she's not quite that far along yet. She's about halfway there. You can see Captain Harrows and Francisco.
And somebody else, according to...
Well, no, you see them at the edge of the water, about to put the raft back into the water to come back toward you.
Don't bother, we're on our way in.
Okay,
well, as
so...
soon as Eric goes up...
In that case, I'll just cast a line out there.
You throw a line! For free. Dr. Anna can catch that, not a big deal.
So I'll let her have it.
So, you guys get a...
Is Erlang coming up at this point, too?
Well, let's see. What are you doing, Erlang?
Check to make sure that they're okay, and then just play rear guard back away from the thing.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Let's see. How interested is the thing?
I'll be right behind them. As soon as they make it to shore, I will be right behind them.
All right. Well, you have a little parade heading toward shore. Let me see if the not terribly bright thing has decided. No, it has decided that you are not important enough to eat. So, it has lost 2 fronds on you, and that is enough. So,
More trouble than we're worth.
it retreats back into wherever it was before it attacked you. So you guys all slosh toward shore. Slosh, slosh. Rain's pouring down.
I'll help them out, come close.
As soon as I hit the shore, I'm not even going to stop to talk to anybody. I'm just going to find my bag. Like, stomp past everybody to where it is, start rummaging through it.
Let's see, rain. Let's call 12 is terrible, 2 is going away. 10. Okay, the rain is still coming down like buckets. Like you can feel it hitting you when it hits you. It's like you were being pummeled with rain.
Right.
You get to your...
So we flip the raft upside down and use it as a giant umbrella for everyone to walk under.
Sure, that works. It is loud. The rain hitting it is... It's like you're under a drum... The top part of a drum, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, but we're not getting beaten down.
But you're not getting beaten down, yeah. And it's big enough for all of you to kind of like hunch underneath. Erlang finds his bug out bag.
Right.
Francisco, if he has a bug out bag, it is there as well because they specifically said that they would grab yours if you had one. So.
I don't know that he would do that. Nope, I don't think I have one.
Well, so you're all huddled underneath the inflatable raft. The cowboy comes over to you and crouches down and says, "Hey, you folks got room?"
Oh.
What? I didn't hear all your responses.
Underneath.
Sure thing.
Yeah, well, if you indicate that he's welcome, he'll crawl under the thing next to you and like crouch there with his shotgun crossed across his knees, pointed away from you guys, and just sit there and wait for the rain to pass, I guess.
I appreciate the help a lot.
Seemed the thing to do.
So
it is really hard to have a conversation right now. You're right under.
Mind if I ask you a question?
You're literally shouting to be heard over the rain.
Where are we?
He says, "What?" I rolled really, really badly to hear you. He just waves you off and just waits for the rain to pass. All right, which it does abruptly.
Drop myself off and start loading my pistol.
Michael's been sitting there studying that shotgun.
It looks like a circa 1860 to 1870 double-barreled shotgun. I don't know enough about that era to tell you what kind it is, but it's a off-the-rack cowboy era double-barrel shotgun. So.
Yeah, Michael's only comment at this point is loud.
Exposed hammer.
I'm sorry, what, Lloyd?
It's probably a greener, side-by-side, exposed hammer, 10 or 12 gauge.
12 gauge. But yeah. Okay, after about 15 minutes, like turning off a light switch, the rain ends. And the clouds...
Incredulously, I'll look outside.
The clouds just... You've seen those time-lapse things where the clouds just kind of evaporate in front of you? They do that. And it's either about 2 in the afternoon or 10 in the morning. You're not quite sure. Because it was nighttime when you left Colorado. It's daytime now. And he looks up, says, "Seem to have passed."
I'll introduce myself at this point. I'm like John Erlang. Nice to meet you.
He'll stand up and say, Sam Winston. Pleasure to meet you, folks.
And yeah, I kind of.
You're all soaking wet. He is on a duster that has some water resistant capabilities, but he is also completely soaking wet. There's only so much that can do. So.
Yeah.
I'm Captain John Harrows. Say, is there civilization anywhere near here?
Real quick, repeat the guy's name.
Sam Winston.
Okay.
Like the cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cigarette, I guess. Sure. All right. So who? I think it was Captain Harrows asked if there's civilization nearby, and he says, "Civilization's few and far between out here, but I suppose the closest you're going to get's tranquility. Keep in mind, civilization's kind of a low bar in this area." But that's where I'm heading. You're welcome to come with me. He reaches out to your raft and squeezes the fabric it's made out of and rubs his thumb on it. He's like, I'm thinking you folks are from the future.
That depends entirely on what year it is.
Or what planet you might want to ask.
What? What are you guys talking about?
We're not in Kansas anymore, unless you hadn't guessed. I think we went somewhere over the rainbow. Or we're in the rainbow. I don't know.
How did that happen? How's that even possible?
Right, so's the Kraken, and I caught one of those, didn't I?
Well, yeah, you keep telling us anyway.
Well, wherever we are, it's definitely not Colorado.
Well, yeah.
No, folks in Tranquility call it the Outlands. Personally, I've got my own theory, but you don't want to hear that. I think it's probably best we get moving. You never know. You were lucky. Could have been a big one. So, you need help carrying any of this stuff?
Big one?
What? That wasn't enough?
That wasn't a big one. Oh dear.
No, I was a baby. They're not very fast, but they're strong.
Yeah. Sounds like it's a good idea to move along.
Yes.
Let's see. Probably could use it out.
My wagon's this way through the jungle. I just happened to... I wouldn't have come out this close to the water at night, except I saw your lights from your... What is that? Because you can see it very clearly right now, the top half of your truck.
Just our production van? Or our production truck?
Pretty much.
Production truck. I know those words, but you're not really making sense to me, partner. That's all right. Is there anything you want to go back and get? Because it may be a while before you come back out this way.
We got as much as we could really use out of that.
Yeah, well, not a bad idea. Is there any way to cache stuff? I don't have a hanker to carry this all the way into town.
No, my wagon's only about 30, 40 yards that way.
Oh.
Not much I need from there. Just some clothes, that's about it.
Well, I'm going to get my good sextant, at least.
You swim back out to the truck and get your sextant. No, when you're swimming out there, keep eye out ahead of you. If you see anything big moving under the water, you come back this way. Do you actually go swim out to the truck to get your sextant?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if anything tries to eat you.
Tell the captain to grab anything that he thinks might be usable as trading material, and make sure you lock the rig.
Well, one of the things I'm doing is securing a line on shore and taking it out there.
Makes sense. If something does attack you, maybe they can drag your dead body back. All right, so.
Well, I think one of the other things he's probably securing a line for is to make sure that thing doesn't get dragged out into the water again.
Okay, on the way out to the truck, nothing attacks you. You tie the line off to like one of the bars in the side of the cab or something?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you grab whatever it is you need to grab out of the truck?
Yep, grab all the stuff out of the truck.
Along with a big nylon bag to stuff it all in?
Mm-hmm.
And then you head back toward the shore. You get literally off the truck and in the water when something attacks you.
Okay, I was going to say, using another line, I'll tie another line to the truck. And now I'm like, I have a line to the truck and a line to shore. That was my plan. But I got attacked. And I am swimming for it. I'm going to try and my attempt is to outrun this thing.
Hang on, I gotta look something up. It just take me a second. Munchings and crunchings. There it is.
Lloyd, I'm sorry, would you mind muting while you're chewing on the chips, please?
Oh, really? You guys can hear that? Sorry.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yep. Where's the stupid thing? Oh, this might be it. Okay, let's try this. Because I know what one thing is called. I just want a map. Why can't I just find a map? Oh, there we go. That is what I wanted. So, we have... Oh, cool. So where were we? You get out of the truck and you're heading back toward land. You literally get just that far when something attacks you in the water. And it looks like...
Oh, you've been muted.
Who's muted?
I don't want to die.
No, I don't expect you to. Okay, I found a picture of a dinosaur wearing a Santa Claus hat. That is not what attacks you. Oh, here we go. Yay, found a good one. It looks like this. It's got big, nasty, pointed teeth.
Some kind of water dinosaur?
You think? Nah. The big one, not the small one. the one that has the big teeth. Yeah. You literally get into the water. You're not arm's reach away from the truck before this thing swoops in and tries to bite you. It is about 4 meters long, about 12 feet long.
I think he found the Loch Ness Monster!
Okay. And it's going to roll to roll to bite you. This is close combat, so Braun...
11 years I've been on this job. We haven't seen a single freaking monster twice in one day now.
Now this time we don't have a camera on hand.
This is...
Captain, did you bring my camera?
Oh, I pulled my cell phone out.
Good luck with that.
It's
Failure attack! Okay.
waterproof.
Oh, is it waterproof? Then it works. You have no service.
Well, yeah, well, I'm not worried about service. I'm worried about taking a video of whatever it is.
you hold up your camera. From this distance, it's mostly splashing and screaming. So
That is so 21st century. I am completely amazed.
Like I said, I think we finally found the Loch Ness monster.
okay, for Captain Arrows, it is rolling a brawn close combat attack. It is pretty brawny. It is bigger than you, and it rolls a 12. What do you roll?
I can't.
Oh, you can't even hit 12. All right.
Max I can hit is a 9.
Okay, Captain Harrows gets in the water. There is a lot of splashing and screaming, and he's like pulled underwater, but he's holding onto the line. All you see of him is his hands on the line that are tied to the truck, like this.
Okay.
You do have to roll because this depends on how much I kill you. So, what do you got?
5 plus 3 is an 8.
8. So 8, 9, 10, 11. You lose 2 points of endurance. What's your total endurance?
3? Because that's the maximum. So I'm now down to a 1.
I didn't kill you with the fern.
Can we see this? Does it look like he's in trouble?
Oh, it definitely looks like he's in trouble. There's like water pooling and blood pooling in the water around his hands.
I bet take a short run and dive and swim that way in the water.
At this point, Donald, your life flashes before your eyes. you're literally one attack away from being eaten. So, however, the odd thing is, your life that flashes before your eyes, a lot of it's your life, but some of it's not the life you lived. It's some other life. And it seems just as real as the life that you've lived and rode in the back of this truck with. So that's pretty odd.
Yeah.
But if any of that exposes any new abilities or powers or something, I'll give you a free action to do something. Oh, does your endurance go up?
No. None of my powers are
helpful.
Yeah, everything requires me to build something before I get any of my powers that I can use on things that already live.
Yeah, he was the worst person who could have gotten mine.
So you have this revelation that there's like this whole other life that you've lived somehow.
Wait a minute.
That you remember now, but it's not helpful. What?
You're next to a truck, Donald.
He is in fact next to the truck.
That's true.
Do I get there in time to do anything?
Just a second. Let me give him one more second, and then we'll get to you. If you don't think something quick, we're going to Craig.
Yeah, go to Craig.
Okay, Craig! You dive into the water. Do you have any weapons with you or anything?
Yeah, I've got a fairly nice pocket knife, locking blade about maybe 3.5 inches.
Okay, you have a lovely pocket knife, and you dive...
It's talking at least, so at least I can do something with it.
You could have taken the machete from me. Just saying.
Well, machete's more of a swinging weapon, and swinging doesn't really work all that well underwater. Just throwing
You
it
want
out there.
stabbing or cutting at this point.
Yeah. Anyway, you dive into the water. Bloosh! What's your agility? Cisco?
I want to say it was high. I want to say I had a 2 or a 3. It might have been a 3.
You get there in one action. You're going full speed. Your ability to attack when you get there will be impaired, but you get there. You get like a penalty die when you get there.
I also have a high brawn, but I don't remember exactly what I decided on.
Okay.
I got a character sheet.
All right. You get there. What do you do? You can attack. What are you gonna do?
Yep. So basically, I pull out the knife and lock it, and try to find whatever's attacking him. Press slash it, whatever.
I have to imagine that when you get there, what's actually there, which is on his leg, like its head is, like if you hold your arms out like this, the ends of its mouth where its teeth are your fingers, and its teeth are the size of your fingers, and its eyeball is like back here on the back of your shoulder. It is a big ass thing and is clamped onto his leg.
Eyeball.
I go for the eyeball. I thought it was tentacles again. Okay,
Oh.
Eyeball.
Alright.
That eyeball.
Well, I would think this is at least a little surprising, because it's a little more scary than the last thing, because it has teeth. The other thing all it could do is drag you underwater, drown you, and then slowly digest you. This is actually biting and blood and...
Got it. That's freaking me out a little bit. I also know my buddy's getting hurt, so gotta help him out.
Right. You roll your brawn close combat roll versus the thing, which is grappling with the... Well, it's not grappling. But, so, roll brawn close combat.
What do I roll?
Oh, you missed all this. Okay, so, we're going to say for sake of argument, your brawn's 3. Okay, we'll just say for sake of argument. So, you get 3. Do you have the close combat skill?
I do.
Okay, then you roll 2 dice.
Yep.
If you didn't, you'd roll 1 dice.
Okay.
You always roll at least 1 die. Okay.
There.
Do you have expertise in close combat in your real world incarnation?
The real world character, no, it'll be the other one that had the swords, so it's just close combat at this point.
Okay, then you roll 2 dice and add your brawn.
Okay.
And it rolls 2 dice and add its brawn.
13.
10. So 10, and you'll do more damage if you roll more than you need in increments of 3. So 10 is 1, 11, 12, 13 would be 2. You rolled what?
13.
You do 2 points of damage. You're aiming for its eye?
Right for his eye.
So I'm going to give you like a penalty for that because that's pretty specific, but you still hit it, which means you still did a point of damage in its eye. Most things don't like that so much. So you swim up to it and you like grab a tooth and like stab at it, do like the prison shiv thing on its eye, and it immediately lets go of Captain Harrows, who goes back up above the water. Blood is just gushing into the water out of his leg because you saw the teeth in this thing.
Women for sure at this point.
He's doing the whole windmill swimming thing, trying to get to shore.
Like lifeguard, subdue and pull him back into the shore.
Well, let me see if it wants to eat you or run away. It makes its extremely very limited reason roll, but it rolls really well and does not think you are worth eating at this point. So that's 2 things you convinced not to eat you. Diplomacy in the land of the dinosaurs. That's what this is all about. It swims away really quickly. So you think if it had managed to pull him off of that line and had swum out into the sea or whatever it is with him, he would have been gone. He would have just been flat out gone. So it's really good that you rescued Captain Harrows. That is a little surprising. What was that about?
That's just another National Weather Service alert. I don't know where it's for. Probably close by.
What state are you in?
Kansas.
Oh, that's like wheat and tornadoes.
Sure.
Right?
Close
Yeah,
enough.
Kansas was built on an ancient Indian burial plot.
The entire state. Well, honestly, like most of the United States is, but so. All right, so the 2 of you get back to shore. You're not going to bleed to death because this isn't that kind of game. But your leg is bleeding like a stuck pig, and you have to spend some time. Whoever's got medical. Anybody got medical? What's the actual skill called? Hang on.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what?
Medicine.
Medicine. There you go. You got medicine? Yeah, you take some time. You just like knives aplenty. You cut strips of something or whatever, wrap it around his leg, tie it off. He's not going to die of blood loss.
Using the industrial OSHA-approved first aid kit that came out of the truck.
Oh, there you go. It's a big white box like this with great big plastic clamps that like close it down and keep it watertight.
With that.
Yeah. Makes sense. So, yeah, he will not lose the leg. He will not bleed to death. Had he not received timely medical help, both of those things are a possibility. Although you're PCs, so they wouldn't actually happen to you. They happen to other people. But still. You have to pretend they can happen to you.
Anna, I got some news for you.
Yeah.
Plesiosaur ain't extinct no more.
You found the Loch Ness Monster, lad, I guess. Or what probably was the Loch Ness Monster.
Didn't leave any teeth in the wound, did it?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's not that crunchy. If it bit like a wooden boat or the truck, maybe. But people are pretty juicy, so.
That's true.
So Sam Wentz is just kind of standing there watching all of this with his shotgun over his shoulder. He's ready to use it if something showed its head, but nothing did. Everything interesting all happened underwater, and he's not going to waste another shell.
Oh, yeah, I kind of mean that.
Big pond things aren't the only dangerous thing in that river?
Oh, it's not a river. From near as we can tell, it's a sea or a lake. It's got another side, but I've never seen it.
Huh.
Time to time, the pirates come by. We think their camp is somewhere on the other side.
Pirates.
Mm-hmm. They're from the future too. No, they're from the past. But they have cannons, so they'll step up on us in that particular area. He spits.
I'm looking at the shitty little 9mm that I've got in my bailout bag, and I'm thinking, cannons.
Yeah. So, what do you folks say something about Colorado?
That's where we were
Oh,
until about an hour ago.
small world. Tranquility used to be in Colorado. Well, technically, it's Colorado. Really, Republic of Deseret had sway, but you know how that is.
Okay. What year are you from?
Hang on, I gotta check. I've written down somewhere.
Okay. Well,
Diddly-diddly-do.
the exact year isn't important. It's apparently...
It's 1870 something. Hang on. Where is it? 1877. Well, put it this way: when we were last in what I think of as the real world, 1877 was the year.
I'll tell you where we're from. It's soon 2019. So.
Yeah. Do you tell him that?
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah. 21st century.
He tilts his hat back a little bit and says, well, congratulations, you are the people furthest from the future I have ever met.
That's probably because we just showed up.
Yeah, you're the person furthest from the past I've ever met.
Well, that'll change. All right.
Oh, that'll be
You were saying
Imagine.
something about a wagon?
I'm sorry, what?
You were saying something about a wagon?
Yeah, normally the seaside's pretty safe as long as you don't go wading in it. Find some pretty interesting stuff sometimes. Usually nobody living, but things like that will actually... He points at your truck and says, that's a mite unusual. But as long as we're here, usually after a change storm, there's some interesting stuff floating around. He like just starts walking away from you down the edge of the water.
Yeah, throw up as much gear as I can carry and follow it.
Yep.
He walks down the edge of the water for a ways. At some point, there's like a one of those life rings, and he like takes that out of the water and drags it up and looks at it, like knocks on it.
Flotation device. Flotation device.
Yeah,
It
well,
floats.
he drops it, not really much use to me. He picks it back up. You never know. He loops it over an arm. Anyway, he walks down the beach, for lack of a better word, and picks some stuff out of the water that has floated up, and they're just like random pieces of garbage that float. There's some women's clothing. There's like pieces of a broken box with some stuff still in it. Like the box has been smashed, but it's not completely empty because it's kind of floating. He picks it up and drags it out. He sets it on the side. He's going to come back for it. Walks on the way. Anyway, he picks up a bunch of shit like this. And on his way back toward where he found you guys, which is where your raft still is. Are you just like walking around behind him?
Yeah, I'm following along with you.
Like baby ducks. All right. On the way back to your raft.
I'll help him haul the stuff ashore and all, as long as I'm not getting attacked by anything.
Yeah, really. I'm curious.
Okay.
He's giving us a ride into town.
Oh,
it's only fair.
He didn't say that. But on his way back, he kind of picks and chooses what he's going to take back, and he leaves a lot of the stuff that he dragged out of the water because it doesn't have any immediate use to him, as far as he can tell. However, some of the stuff would have meaning to you guys, even though it doesn't to him. Like a piece of electronic equipment of some kind. He looks at it, and it's like he picks it up, and like water just kind of pours out of it, and he has no idea what it is. He just tosses it back down. There's stuff like that that happens. If you want to grab that, you can.
That other life that was mine,
mm-hmm.
I'm grabbing anything that it thinks is useful.
Okay. It's weird. It's not like there's two personalities in your head. It's like there's one personality that has two sets of memories.
Right. But I'm including the other self in my what is useful here.
Sure.
I am grabbing anything I find useful.
Okay. Anyway, so he grabs whatever he can carry, and then he'll find something that he pulled out, and he'll drop something and pick it up, and get back to where your raft is. And he says, "All right, I'm about ready to move on if you folks are ready."
Yep.
Not trying to rush you or anything. All right. He starts tromping through the forest, or jungle, rather, and it's like hot. At this point, the rain has ended, so the temperature had cooled off a bit because of the rain, but in the past half hour, it's gone from maybe 80 degrees to 95 degrees. It is fucking hot. And you start like, what?
And really humid.
And really humid. It's Virginia in August. So he's tromping through, and he's wearing like this huge duster in this hat. So he's gonna be sweating bullets. So anyway, he carries this armload of crap, and you get to a wagon that is parked on what appears to be a paved road. The road is paved with blocks of stone, and they're extremely uneven, but they're easier for a wagon than the jungle, which is impassable by a wagon. And the wagon is being pulled by what looks like a large lizard. You know what a stegosaurus looks like, right? The thing with the big plates in its back?
Yeah.
Well, picture that, but no plates. It's just the lizard part. And he's got a harness going to it, and currently it's tied to it's also got a rope tying it to a tree. And there is a canvas, not bag exactly, more like a tarp, with a bunch of hay or grass or something on the ground in front of it, which it is munching slowly.
Okay, like yes. I make a point to look over at Dr. Anna and go, well, I hope you're happy now.
Why would she be happy? Why would anyone be happy? And he throws his armload of crap in the back of his wagon.
She's an archaeologist and we just found dinosaurs.
Yeah, unfortunately my sketch pad is probably soaking wet at this point.
Everything is.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, on sight of the dinosaur hauling the wagon, he comments to Dr. Anna, well, I hope you're happy now.
He doesn't get it in the wagon. What he does do is he goes and unties the rope tying the dinosaur to the... Oh, first he gathers up the tarp of the hay, for lack of a better word. I'm going to call stuff by their modern equivalents. Just assume whatever it actually is some dinosaur world equivalent, right? So he packs up the tarp full of hay, puts that in the back of the wagon. The dinosaur makes like a noise when he does that. He's like, "It's okay, Bob. It's okay, Bob. Oh, come on now. Here." Anyway, he unties it and he starts walking ahead of it to lead it down this, not exactly cobblestone because the blocks are like this big, but down this road. And I guess he just assumes you're going to follow along.
Yeah.
How long do you follow behind him before you start asking questions?
Kind of numb in the moment, not asking any questions.
Wait.
I'm gonna go a couple of minutes before I walk up to him and start asking questions.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm taking in the scenery. It's like
It's
definitely looking
green.
around.
The scenery is
Well-
green.
plants I have never seen in my life.
I am working on directions. North, south, east, west. I'm trying to get my bearings.
Well, you know where the sun is. It's right there. And it appears to be going down in that direction. So normally that would be west. So you would think, actually no, I'm turned around. For my own convenience, I'm going to say the other way. The sun is still going up, so you're going east. You think. If there are directions like you think there would be, you'd be going east.
Okay. Yeah, my growth from Dover is navigation, so that's...
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, well, in that case, you're going east-southeast.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm trying to do is get my bearings because none of this is right.
No, it's really not.
I have staked my everything on my ability to navigate, and I have no idea where I am.
Well, that's going to be useful down the road, I'm positive. So,
Once in
Go
a
ahead.
while, Dr. Michael is going over to a plant, pulling a leaf off, and just studying it as he's walking.
do you like botany as one of your sciences?
Well, it's botany, biology. I'm a biologist, cryptozoologist.
Yeah, you're looking at plants that have been extinct for
Yeah.
literally millions of years.
Or, looking.
Like, some of them have modern, from your point of view, modern descendants, or plants that have remained unchanged for a really long time. But in general, you are looking at millions of years ago plants. You're, as a biologist and a botanist, for example, that trees evolved with lignum. Lignum is what allows a tree to go straight and tall.
Right.
Lignum in trees evolved, I think, hundreds of thousands of years before microorganisms that ate lignum evolved, which means there's a layer in the archaeological record of nothing but dead trees because nothing could eat them. They didn't rot. Nothing ate them. Trees rot in the real world now because microorganisms eat them.
Yeah. These
So-
trees look like they have developed lignum, right?
These plants have not developed lignum. They are
Wow.
big, but they are not tall. They don't have like stalks that go straight up. Once they get a certain size, they just kind of flop over.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I'm just picking leaves every once in a while, studying them intently, and
fun science facts. You thought people
Yeah.
think gaming's educational. You've learned something, I hope. So, Erlang walks up next to Sam and starts peppering him with questions. What are you going to ask? He's kind of terse in his replies. But
Okay.
what are you going to ask?
Nothing personal about him, but can you tell me about, say, the town that we're going to? Would you say it was Tranquility or?
Tranquility. Do you want me to roleplay it all? Because that's going to take a while. Otherwise, you can I just give you bits of information to be faster.
Basically, tell me about the town. Tell me about the pirates. There's
Tranquility.
Are there
Tranquility.
Are there others?
A storm came through, the like they had never seen, and when it cleared, they were here, which most folks call the Outland, and by community consensus, that's just kind of what it's called. That was about 10 years ago, although time is a funny thing, and it doesn't really work here the way you might expect. Neither does distance. For example, last time he made this run, it took him 3 days. This time, judging by the landmarks, and you look around and you do not see any landmarks.
The landmarks are forests everywhere.
Yeah. No. Donald's character, Captain Harris, he's noticing landmarks. Like, hey, there's a big rock poking out of the ground over there, just inside the forest, or whatever. And, oh, hey, there's like a really massive, looks like those vines that grow really big and kind of merge together until they're just enormous? Wisteria will do that, for example. Except this is like that, but like 4 times that size. He notices a really big example of that on the right. He doesn't know what it's called, but he sees it. So this is all in the navigation thing, Donald. So, but Erlang, no, it's fucking green. You're surrounded by green. It's been green. It's green in front of you. It's green inside.
Green.
Anyway, he says, judging by landmarks, you're less than half a day from Tranquility this time. Next time, it might be a week. Who knows? That's why he packs plenty of water.
That makes sense.
So,
We lost Craig, by the way.
Sorry, what?
We
lost Craig. Aw.
And he was doing so well, too.
Craig clutches his midsection and steps away into the bush and drops his pants. And you guys have to wait for him for a few minutes. Your friend's sick. Oh, there he is.
Hey, sorry about that.
Anymore.
You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
You lose power?
No, I'm clicking things I shouldn't be clicking. I just reloaded the computer, so I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, you're bored. That's what it is.
I'm multitasking and did the wrong thing.
All right. Well, I'll try to hold your attention, but I'm only one person. I'm only human, man. All right. Francisco gets a stomach cramp, has to step briefly off into the woods, take care of some business, wipes on a leaf because that's what you got, and then comes back out, looks a little sheepish, and you guys keep going. For Sam's point of view, this is really just not even an issue. He just kind of waits patiently, and then when you're back with him, he keeps walking because that's the kind of guy he is. So, other questions that Erlang asked. What's around? We're going to Tranquility. Yeah. So, judging by landmarks, you're about a half day away.
Okay.
What about Tranquility? You said, what about Tranquility? Well, it's a town. Was in the Colorado territory, but really under the sway of Republic of Deseret. Was, when we got here, about 600, 700 people. Now it's about 300. We lost a lot that first month. Since then, stayed pretty stable, and from time to time, we get new people showing up like yourselves.
What killed off the 600 people initially?
Lizards, mostly. Also, some of the Chickamaustock came through and took a bunch before we figured out what they were about.
Okay, and what are those?
What are what?
Chickamaustock?
In the future, do they have Indians?
They don't call them Indians anymore, but yeah.
Well, Chickamaustock are like Mexican Indians. They don't kill you if they can help it. Mainly they want to take you back and kill you at home.
Fair enough.
I have no idea why, but that's what they do.
From our time, the Native Americans have decided killing white folk is not a good idea, and we've sort of got a guarded truce, for want of a better word.
That's good. I approve of truces. He spits.
Okay, so we've got Aztecs, call it Mestizo, pirates.
They come through every couple of weeks. They raid the Chickamaustock and they trade with us. When we first showed up, they tried raiding us, but we have guns. So that leveled the playing field. On the other hand, it exhausted a lot of our supplies of ammunition. I wish I hadn't had to spend a shell on you folks, but I guess it was worth it. When I got here, I had 3 cases of 12 gauge. Now I've got 14.
You haven't figured out a way to make more bullets?
Do you know how to make more bullets? What do you make them out of?
What you need is bird dung.
You seen a bird? You seen any birds around?
I haven't.
Nope.
Bat. Guano of some sort.
Bats
Yep.
came after the birds.
No bats, no birds, no nothing. And that's if we had lead, which we also don't have. Now, back that way, he points, weeks and weeks that way. At least that's how I tell it. There's a Silver City. They got metal all over the place. But the only fellow who came back from that way who told the story was the only fellow who came back from that way who told the story. So, I wouldn't go there if I were you. Plus, that's if you get past the lizard people.
Lizard people.
Yeah.
Is anybody around here? Is anybody around here friendly, or is it every man for himself?
Well, Tranquilla used to be friendly. Friendly is a relative word. You'll be welcome in Tranquilla, I tell you that. You have a
Okay.
place to stay. You have people who look out for you if you look out for them. What I will tell you, stay clear of Edgelord.
Okay.
He showed up about 6 months ago, doing things. I've seen some weird things since I've been here. Now, what we saw last night, the thing that bit you, this fella, and the water flower, weirder than that. I've seen some weird things, lights in the sky. Edgelord's something else. So steer clear of him. Don't give him reason to look at you, and you'll be all right.
Okay.
Other than that, everybody in Tranquilla is pretty nice. Well, Edgelord's got a few people who he keeps around, kind of like a posse. Steer clear of them too. They're not special like he is, but they're unkind.
All right. Quiz everybody else. What are we looking at for weapons here, guys?
I've got a pistol and a couple of cases of ammo.
What kind of pistol?
I'm going to consider it a large one.
A revolver or the kind that slides back and forth when it fires?
Slides back and forth.
Are you like a traditionalist or you're like a more modern person?
More modern, except when I'm reenacting.
Okay, so it's probably, let's say a 40 Smith & Wesson?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so it's a big bullet, but it's automatic. And if you're on the road, which means you have to carry your ammo with you most of the time, you probably got like a box of ammo, which is enough to fill up your clip about 3 times. Does that sound reasonable, Lloyd?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I'm carrying whatever my service pistol was when I was a police officer. So
Well, that'd be 9mm.
Yeah, it'd be a Beretta 9mm, and I have a box of 50 rounds of ammunition for it.
There you go. So you can fill up your clip like 4 times. Anybody else?
Yep, I have a little snub nose that I kept on my ankle. Revolver.
Ooh, 38.
You weren't there to pack your stuff, so you probably have exactly 6 bullets.
Well, I actually have 2. No, I have 2 quick
Speed loaders?
I don't have anything more than that. Yes.
All right. So you've got like 20 total bullets. You got 18. You got 2 speed loaders that are in the same thing the pistol was in.
Exactly.
And then the snub nose revolver.
Yep.
How about Captain Harrows? What you got on you?
I figure he'd probably have just like a Camp 9.
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what that is.
It's a Ruger. It's a 9mm handgun ammo.
Oh, pistol. Okay.
Rifle.
Oh, rifle. Oh, like a carbine?
Yeah, it's a Camp 9. It's a camping rifle.
Okay, telling me Camp 9 when I don't know what that is doesn't help me, but it's a 9mm carbine. That's cool. It takes a pistol cartridge, but it's actually a small rifle. So your range is better, but it still only hits as hard as a pistol round hits. Right?
Yes.
Cool beans. Anything else?
Diving knife, that kind of thing.
I'm assuming you got knives as galore, as much as you want. I'm not worried about that. And I'm just going to say you had a time to gather your crap, so you've got at least a box of ammo for the 9mm you've got as well. So between you and Erlang, you've got 2 boxes of 9mm ammo.
I figure I've got. Okay, I figure I'd probably carry 100 rounds because that's a 520 round magazine.
I'll give it to you because that ties into your character conception with the machines and stuff. So, okay, fine. You got 2 boxes of ammo, 2 50-round boxes.
Now, here's a question for you based on my reenactment ability. The fact that I was a reenactor. Is there any way that if I had the metal available, I could make bullets?
Oh, you totally could. If you had the tools to make them with, now you might have to make the tools to make them with. But as a reenactor,
that's what we have Donald for.
What?
That's what we have Donald for.
Well, granted.
I'll give you a hint. I once had a book when I was a Civil War reenactor, and it's called the U.S. Army Ordnance Manual of 1862. It literally tells you how to make every single thing the United States Army used from scratch. So if you want to know how to build a 20-pound parrot gun, it will tell you what wood to use, what iron to use, how to cast the barrel, and how to make the ammunition for it. But it stops at 1862. So you can make ammunition and black powder for it. But any Civil War reenactor who's interested in that sort of thing would have a copy of that ordnance manual.
So
it may be waterlogged beyond recognition, but at the very least, Leslie's character, I've forgotten his name.
Michael.
Okay, yeah, Michael knows all of that. So yes, if you had the tools, circa 1850 minimum, you could make real life weapons. Now you'd need the raw materials. You'd need steel. You'd need lead. You'd need the chemicals to make.
The big problem is the primers.
I was going to get primers. Yeah.
There's a lot of metals on that truck. If it's not too deep, if it doesn't sink down too far.
Oh, you missed this part, Craig. Yeah, the truck hit the water and was kind of drifting toward land. Erlang, Lloyd's character, was trying to spin the wheels because it was still kind of floating. The cab was sinking, but the back part is basically a big float. It's slowly filling with water, but it's a big float. So he's trying to get closer to land. He got about 8 meters away when he hit something, crunch, which stopped its motion. He tried to reverse and go around it in the water, but then crunch, hit something else. So it's basically just stuck where it is for now. So. And then it sank, and it's only at the front it's about 8 feet of water, at the back it's about 10 feet of water. At this point it's probably full to that level also, by the way.
But the frame is metal, most of it. So and the engine, we could go back and get that if we found a way to do so.
The engine, it was literally running until, because it's got a thing that comes up where the air intake is, that's at eye level when you're sitting in the truck. It's actually on the passenger side, but so that's out of the water. The engine actually, assuming it doesn't the water doesn't seep through the seals and stuff, which will eventually happen. But until it does, the engine will run. The whole truck will run. It may be hard to start because it's got water in the exhaust pipe, but it'll eventually run.
What I'm saying though, if we want to,
it's just underwater.
We may want to come back and try to salvage it. Pirates don't get it first.
You may. It's anywhere from a half a day to 3 days away from Tranquility, just so you know. So, where were we? Oh, you were going through your equipment. So, we got to Karen. Did you say what you had?
I don't have any firearms. All I have is is a pocket knife and archaeology tools, because I know I grabbed that. That's part of my kit.
Those are irreplaceable. You would never leave without those. Other people are grabbing weapons and food. You're grabbing your archaeology tools.
Yeah, I have a bag that's got a small smattering, because I'm an archaeologist, a smattering clothes, tools, and basic necessities. And that's have a go.
Your hiking boots, because you don't wear those in the truck. You just wear sneakers or something. Yeah. But you're oh my god, those hiking boots, because you grab those. So you've got hiking boots, archaeology tools, maybe a little mini chemical testing kit that you use to test things. I'm not a scientist, I wouldn't know, but it has test tubes, it has droplets you put into things, kind of like a pool chlorine testing kit, but scientific. And then Leslie's got the, what do you have, Leslie?
40
Let's see.
Oh, the 40S Smith & Wesson, which is a big bullet, but it's not automatic. So, a little less reliable than a revolver, but it holds more bullets. Anybody else on the weapons?
Well, within my pack are at least 2 books that I kind of wrapped up with as much plastic as I could. One of them was the Civil War how-to book. And the other one probably is a guide to flora and fauna. Even if there's nothing familiar, I might be able to say, that looks sort of familiar, it might be edible.
You did specifically mention wrapping things in plastic bags, so I'm going to give you the Civil War reenacting how to build anything book.
Ordnance manual.
Yeah,
Ordnance
probably.
manual. I'm going to say you got that, because you specifically mentioned the plastic bags.
So you can still buy copies of it online.
Oh, wow.
That won't help you now.
No. I owned a copy myself until I lent it to some guy and never saw him again. So.
Oh. Well, you guys are walking along the road, and you're talking about what weapons you've got. And when there's a lull, Sam Winston looks back at you and says, when we get close to tranquility, don't mention any of that. Edgelord says he believes in everyone being armed, but everyone means him. So don't, if anybody asks you got a pistol, a rifle, a shotgun, whatever, he points at somebody who mentioned a word he doesn't recognize. Let's say it's snub nose. Yeah, he wouldn't know what that means. He gestures over at Francisco. He gestures over you and says, hey, whatever it was you said. You say, just say, nope.
Oh, and Brandon, there are 2 of these on my backpack.
And what is that?
They're sticks.
Okay.
They're just sitting over here, but they're fighting sticks.
Before we get to tranquility, I'll walk up to him and say, Mr. Winston, if we can find the metal, I can make the bullets. Just so you know.
Well, if you can do that, you will be a popular person. Because we are down to our last rounds. And the only thing holding off the Wangguao, I think, is the guns, because they don't have those. And, of course, the Chickamauga, which I mentioned before.
We might want to go to that place that nobody comes back when we're more prepared so we can try and get some of this metal.
That's on you. I'm not going that far. I never go that far.
Not right now. Prepared. We need to learn a little bit more about this place first.
All right, you have like a half a day to get there. Any other questions until you get there? Otherwise, I'll just fast forward.
No.
All right.
We're getting close to pumpkin time for me.
Yeah, I know. I'll get you there, and then we will wrap up for the evening. Is this going well enough to continue?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
This is going to be more of a role-playing thinking game in my mind.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I need a lab before I can do anything. Right now, Captain Harrows is walking along with his brain buzzing with all of these things he can build.
Yeah, you have half a day. Do you mention that to anybody?
No, because I'm not sure I really believe it myself at this point.
All right.
I'm just, I might be picking at some of the stuff that we salvaged.
Yeah, you're thinking of all kinds of stuff.
Like trying to piece basic stuff together as I'm walking behind the wagon.
All right.
And if anybody asks, I'll go further about it, but that's what I see him doing.
All right. About a half day later, so it's this point like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you would imagine? Although, time has no meaning here, so we'll just let that go.
It's kind of weird.
you
sun does seem
see...
to motions, right? It rises in the east and sets in the west, as far as we know, at least.
You ask him that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You just start.
Well, the sun, it's...
No,
rises.
this is me asking the game master. You said days and time is relative. So I'm asking, but we're at least noticing that the sun is rising in the east.
Well, it started there, which would be around 10. And by the time you see tranquility, it's over there, which would be around 2 or 3. So, given your length of experience, yes, that is what it does.
It seems to be a roughly 24-hour day.
Could be. Yeah, seems reasonable. Sure, why not?
Just, arc of the sky, movement over time.
Yeah.
I seem to have disabled my keyboard, and I have no idea.
Oh, that's not a good idea. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to stop it.
Oh, press the F6 key.
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work.
Okay. At some point, you reach the edge of a large clearing, and you see in front of you, between you and the fortification, and I'm not going to just take a moment. I'll describe it. Okay. Between you and the fortification are fields of what appear to be wheat. You see wheat growing, and after the wheat, you see. Let's share some stuff with you.
At this point, he's not plucking any grains or anything like that. He's just taking a closer look.
Okay.
Because if it's somebody's wheat field, he doesn't want to steal.
The road actually goes right up to the edge of these, and these are all around the actual town. They look like they were made out of local stuff. So, lignum. There apparently are actual trees. They just don't grow right next to the water. Because these were made from actual trees that have lignum, because otherwise you can't sharpen them.
Yeah.
So, and you can tell from the way they're made that they're not 10 years old.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
on the other hand, they don't rot because nothing eats them, because that hasn't evolved yet. So that's nice. So these are set up all around the town. The town itself looks more like... I gotta get my other thing. There we go. Like this.
Wow. Like a Civil War post-Civil War fort.
It
looks like a Union cavalry fort, basically.
I will actually make a Fort Dodge reference.
Yeah.
And again, most of this looks less than 10 years old. This has been built within the last 10 years, most of it.
What comes to mind for me is the TV show F Troop.
Basically, yeah.
I was thinking Fort Laramie, but yeah.
That works too. Anyway, when you guys get to like the cleared area where the wheat is and all, he stops and he looks back. He says, "No, if you've got rifles, weapons, I suggest you put those away." And he takes his shotgun and goes back to his wagon, and he like pulls up a board in the bottom of his wagon and puts his rifle in it and puts the board back on top of it, like he's smuggling the shotgun into town.
Okay.
Will there frisk us?
Yeah,
No.
Definitely bury the rifle.
Well, you say frisk, and he like squints at you a minute, like he doesn't know what you mean, but then he figures out what you mean from its context. He says, "No."
Okay, then I'll put my pistol in one of the zipper pockets of my backpack.
All right. You will get a lot of questions because you're new. So, but for the most part, as long as you don't attract the wrong kind of attention, everything will be fine.
Are blades considered?
No, blade is fine. He doesn't care about them.
Okay.
No, which is weird.
I've still got the machete, so.
I thought this is a future thing, because most of the time people in the future, they don't carry knives, they don't know about knives. You folks are knives aplenty. So
Well, we used to be in outdoors.
Several of them. Yes.
Well, good for you.
Some of us, well, among other things, my people, the people I hang around with, reenact your part of history.
Why the hell would you want to do that?
Something that modern folk like to do.
Time and distance makes history interesting.
Something like
Far more than actuality.
yeah, I know some of what I know how to do.
All right. Well, I'm certainly not one to cast aspersions. So, okay, you all set?
I think so, yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Tranquility. And he walks into town, and we can wrap up there if you guys want.
It is almost 10:30. Yeah.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't care. I'm off tomorrow.
Why are you off tomorrow? It's a Wednesday.
Today and tomorrow off.
Oh wow, cool.
Oh, nice.
Good night, everybody.
But hang on, I do my closing thing. Can I do my closing thing?
On your closing thing.
Go ahead and do the closing thing.
Okay, here's the closing thing. This has been Pirates of the Mesozoic with Craig Smith,
That's his turn.
Donald Von Griffin, Karen Torres, Leslie Dannenberger, Lloyd Montgomery, and myself, Brandon Blackmore. Be careful when you go swimming, because you never know what you'll find. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.